Good evening.
Welcome.
Welcome to Wait a Minute, the inaugural broadcast of Wait a Minute. I'm Paul.
I'm Charlie.
And we are your hosts
for Wait a Minute.
For Wait a Minute.
Now, you may notice a few things about this breakthrough in, what would you call this type of show?
It's, I guess at some point, radio wasn't
Rambling
enough for
commentary.
people. Radio wasn't enough for people, and they were like, let's film people recording a radio show.
Well, this is a breakthrough.
It's banter.
Nobody has ever done this with the exception of quite a few.
That's exactly right.
Paul and I often get together and we talk about things that we have thought about or noticed in our day-to-day lives, and they seem to go in one ear and out the other for most people. And most people don't even give them a second thought. However, we do.
We do.
And in our minds, we say, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Everybody ought to be listening to us.
That's right.
So we'll see just how many people actually tune in.
So today we're going to start off by talking about some of the things that make us say, wait a minute. The English language has been more and more misused, butchered, bastardized, and just plain wrong. And I wrote a few things down here, and my dad, I spoke to him this afternoon, he writes down as he hears things, whether it be on the news or the radio or in a conversation with someone, he will write these things down. And I never really knew for what purpose until today, because now it is fodder for our use. Irregardless of that whole thing that just happened.
Wait a minute. Irregardless? Isn't that kind of a redundant term?
Did I say irregardless?
Bing! I think you did, Charles.
My. Well, tell everybody why irregardless is wrong.
Well, regardless would be, well, you can't use the word in the definitions. You can't say without regard. Regardless would be in spite of, or
without regard.
And aside from this. So if you say irregardless, you're actually kind of doing the double negative thing.
That's right.
It's kind of without regard. Which
creates a positive, which means that you do have regard for the point you're about to make.
Exactly.
So when you refer back to the things that you were...
Wait a minute. Refer back, revert back, it's the same thing.
Did I say that?
Yes, you did indeed. If you refer to something, you are referring to something that has already passed. You are making reference of something that has already passed.
That's right.
So referring back would be referencing something in the past.
Yes, it's like reverting back to its original state.
That's right.
It's a foregone conclusion that if something reverts, it goes back.
It's a redundancy. Yeah. Like PIN number. Enter your PIN number.
Yes.
Personal identification number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another redundancy. I remember when I was in high school, I had a bank account, and it came with a little plastic card. It said on the card, MAC, Money Access Card. And what did they actually call it in its little envelope that would go in your pocket?
Money Access Card, MAC card.
A MAC card.
MAC card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
people talk about bad English, though. Yeah, I mean, English is really the only language where people actually make reference to it. Oh, that's bad English. Do you think in Mexico people are like, ooh, esto malo español? You know, so that was bad Spanish. I don't know. I think because they say English is supposed to be one of the hardest languages to learn, it's probably because so many people look it up. You don't have very good examples to refer back to.
That's right. Like free gift.
Free gift, that's right.
It is a foregone conclusion that a gift is free. When was the last time somebody said, "Happy birthday, Paul, you owe me $10"?
Well, there was a Secret Santa thing one time where you were supposed to only spend $20 on somebody, and somebody got me a $30 gift, and I was instructed that I owed them $10. It's a true story. They wanted to keep the rules alive. Got to be proper about things like that.
Wow. Let's see. What's another good one here? Yeah, two planes the other day had a near miss.
A near miss.
Yes, which means they actually hit each other.
A near miss. Yeah, I mean, one clipped the other one.
That's right. If you wanted to imply that the two planes
They had a near collision.
had a near collision, it would be a near hit.
A near hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, hit or miss does not mean they're interchangeable. If you use that term, it's not like a hit or miss.
Right.
You got to pick one.
Yeah. Now, Paul, let me ask you something. Here's one. How often do you hear people load up every sentence with like?
Oh, that gets on my nerves.
You know, case in point, I took my cat to the vet when she was a kitten.
And she was like a kitten?
When she was like a kitten. Well, almost. You here, watch this.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Filling out a new form for this kitten, we had just come up with a rather fanciful name for. It was time for her first shots. And the receptionist says, "Oh, and what is this cute little kitten's name?" And I said, "Miss Maribel Poopy Cat." Well, she was all like, "What?" And I was all like, "Miss Maribel Poopy Cat." And this other lady sitting across from me with her little cat carrier on her lap, she was all like, "Oh, isn't that the cutest name?" And the receptionist was like, "I'm just going to write Maribel." And I was like, "No, her name is Miss Maribel Poopy Cat."
Wait a minute. Have you ever thought about the like thing? It's almost, okay, let's say you have the whole Valley Girl type conversation. I was like going to the mall and like I saw my friends there and we like decided that we were going to go into like Victoria's Secret and go shopping for some new bras. Like I found one that was just beautiful, but it was $75. And like I'm not going to spend $75 on a bra. But it's the same thing when you get like the Thuggish Brothers. They just substitute "know what I'm saying" for like.
Know what I'm saying.
I was going to the mall, know what I'm saying. And I ran into my brother Coolio, know what I'm saying. We decided we were going to go into the Urban Outfitters, know what I'm saying.
Well, that's like the athletes being interviewed on a big game day or something, and everything is, Well, so what's your game plan to deal with that Jets defense this afternoon? Well, Coach was telling us that we gotta really work on our 5 and 10 yard drop zone coverages, and we just gotta stay focused, and then they do this, and Coach was just like, "Hey, we gotta be more tight on man to man." And I got in the huddle and I said, and I'm like,
Know what I'm saying?
"No, I'm saying." I was all like, "Hey, we gotta play really, really tight ball today," So everything is loaded up with "hey," "like," know what I'm saying.
Know what I'm saying.
It just kind of says that you're a little bit lazy.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. What about the words that are all jumbled together? Like, "know what I'm saying" it's kind of one monosyllabic cluster.
Monosyllabic.
Monosyllabic.
Yeah.
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 Conjoining all these words that really don't need to be conjoined.
That's right.
But then there's a few words in the English language that is actually, like, nevertheless, is one word. It's not
That's
three
true.
words.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nevertheless.
Well, I learned a word in German, Lichtspielhaus.
I don't
That's
think we can
what
say that on family television.
A movie theater, we call it a movie theater, they call it a light play house, and it's one word, Lichtspielhaus.
Nice. They're much more eloquent with their words.
My dad was, we're flying to New Jersey, and I asked my dad about some of the travel arrangements, and he said, "Well, when you arrive at der Flughausen, I will pick you up." And man, he does that, and I didn't know that word, and I went, "Flughausen?
Is that a place where people beat each other?
I believe it's Flughausen.
Flughausen.
Yeah, Flughausen.
Flughausen.
Which means flight house is what they call their airports.
The flight
But that is neither here nor there, So
unless you've seen Valkyrie. You see Valkyrie, Tom Cruise, supposed to be in German, but the whole time he talks like this. It was like set in Nazi Germany, and everybody's speaking English.
Yeah.
Even like Passion of the Christ, they had the decency to revive a dead language.
That's right.
And use that in there. They can't even speak German, which is thriving and alive, and subtitle it for accuracy.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise. We'll talk about Scientology next week.
50 Cent.
50
You know, if
Cent.
I was ever going to be a rapper, my name would be 35 Cent.
35 Cent.
Because I don't rap as
But
as
you're better
well.
than halfway there.
But
You're not 25 cent. You're not like,
That's right.
35 cent. I got some work to do. I got work to do, but
Hello,
You know
your
what I'm saying?
changes.
You know
Hello,
what I'm saying?
your changes. So I guess we kind of covered, and then there's America's Got Talent. Kathy's real big into America's Got Talent, and
Wait a
they
minute.
have,
wait a minute. Wouldn't that mean America has got talent?
yes,
Yeah, it would. With the
Yes.
apostrophe.
and so
America has got talent.
yeah,
Yeah, you can't say it that way though.
no,
America's got talent.
but at least the S isn't on the end of got.
That's right. America got talent.
Yeah.
But America has talent would probably, I mean, I don't think anybody would notice much of a difference. They're like, hey, you want to watch America Has Talent tonight? If it
Yeah.
was said properly, it's not like America's Got Talent makes it sound so much better than America Has Talent.
Yeah. Well, just goes to show, you don't want to speak English too good.
Too well. That's one that really ticks me off. How you doing today? I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm doing
Now,
very
wait
well,
a minute.
thank you.
Yes.
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Yeah. And then there's I and me.
I and me is one that irritates me as well.
Yes, gets me no end. I know some people who will use I irregardless of the setting in the sentence, and it's to show, and you see this on the news and on TV and just everywhere lately. People want to sound as though they are very well educated,
Very proficient in
and
the English.
very well educated people use I
That's right.
instead of me because me is ignorant.
Carlos and I are going to the movies, but it would not be, would you like to go to the movies with Carlos and I?
That's
Say,
right.
would you like to go to the movie with Carlos and me, or with me and Carlos? You have to be able to take out the other person's name and the sentence still makes sense.
That's right.
I am going to the movies. Carlos and I are going to the movies. Would you like to go to the movies with me? Would you like to go to the movies with me and Carlos?
Yeah, because last sentence you just said was actually correct, and some people would argue with that because
say,
they would
yeah.
say Carlos and me, but really, the basic premise of the sentence is you're going to the movies and Carlos is joining you.
Exactly.
That's why he comes second in the sentence there. So that's actually correct English.
I remember saying something.
Now, by the way, it's interesting. You don't know anybody named Carlos, do you?
No, but your name's Carlos and Mexican.
Yes, that's true. I was just going to say.
Espanol and Spanish.
Yeah.
To say in Mexican would be the improper nomenclature there, I believe. Propriety is very important to us.
No.
At least when it comes to English language.
What were you going to say? You were going to say
You
something.
made me lose my train of thought. And
Damn.
sadly, my train of thought had no caboose.
Paul, you're a singer and a guitar player and a lyricist. And on top of that, you made a video with me. And
You mean
for
with
a song.
I?
That's right. You
made
made
a
a
video
video
with
with
I.
I. I'm sorry. Yes, you made a video with I. And so when
Charlie and I made a video.
you and me made this video, and my beautiful wife Kathy appeared in it, and my friend Josh appeared in it as well. This was a song that we wrote. Gosh, is it 05? Did we write
2004.
that? 2004.
I believe it was 04. It might have been 05.
So it's been about 7 or 8 years.
I jotted the lyrics down to it like in one sitting. Pardon me for inflating my sentence with like. In one sitting after we drank 2 or 3 bottles of Bogle between the 3 of us.
Yeah.
And then we, I had a little chord progression. You had some really cool lead emphasis that you put in there in the guitar as well.
Yeah, and actually, I coined "Put That Bottle Down." And you wrote everything around
right.
that. You came up with
you
this
gave a title.
character,
Yeah.
and so we've.
That was in the words to that. I don't think I'd ever write something again that actually it sounded like I knew exactly what I was doing when we wrote that, and it was just kind of throwing down words that fit. And at one point, I even made the mistake of saying Jack Kerouac wrote The Grapes of Wrath, and I caught it halfway through the song and had to write a verse correcting it. So it comes in there, and it sounds like that was the intent the entire time. So
Yeah. Well, what do you say we take a look at some of that video?
some of that video, people might enjoy it.
And here it is. So that is Put That Bottle Down by Paul Walters, Charlie Panosh, and Mark Melton.
I think we actually filmed that video 6 or 7 years after the song was actually written. 6 years.
Yeah, the song was too good not to do something with it.
Yeah, but the video was recorded many years later.
Yeah.
After the song had been written.
And I believe we actually did some of the shooting in late fall, early winter, and then we had to wait
till March.
We
did October for the
till
first
like the spring,
part, and then we went to March for the next. Yeah.
Yeah. So
poor Kathy was sitting out there in like a wool coat in March.
Yeah.
In the middle of a field with direct sunlight.
Yeah.
My doctor talks all the time about, anybody can go online and become a doctor, but I went to medical school for 4 years. So, people go into the doctor's office and they're like, well, I've got diverticulitis because all the symptoms on the internet say that's what this is. And it very, very, very much frustrates
self-diagnosis.
Everybody knows everything because it's on the internet.
Well, now, I got this real bad pain in the back of my head. So, I've self-diagnosed, but I just need you to write the prescription.
Yeah. I've got medulla oblongata-itis. And
wait a minute.
That's got to be. Medulla oblongata-itis.
What is that?
It is inflammation of my medulla oblongata.
Okay.
You put itis at the end of something, that's inflammation thereof.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, Paul, what do you say we go to the phones? And I'm going to call my sister, Gretchen.
Go to the phones.
So,
plural.
Now, that's right.
That's bad
This
English.
is the phones.
Yeah, we're going to the phones.
So we're going to call my sister. My sister is always good for a laugh, and hopefully we can put her on speakerphone because we don't have a direct feed. Let's see what happens. It's ringing.
Probably just set it down, right? Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, Gretchen.
Hey.
You're live on Wait a Minute.
You're live on Wait a Minute.
With Paul and Charlie.
With Paul and Charlie. And I would ask that you, are you able to talk for a moment, and are you able to talk a little bit louder?
What's a moment, and I could probably talk a little more loudly.
See, Gretchen uses good English.
Yes. Actually, it would be proper
irregardless
English.
of what others say.
She uses English well.
I
Yes.
speak goodly English.
Yes.
Speak very goodly.
Goodly. Well, actually, goodly means handsome.
Yes, it does.
Yes. So,
My
Gretchen,
English is handsome.
Gretchen, one of the things that we were hoping that you might be able to bestow upon us
Besides the speaker on.
is, can you say, "Oh no, you didn't"?
Really?
Yes. Would you?
Just a second.
So let me just give you a quick context, because we are recording, we are live at the moment.
Recording live.
Recording live. It's another one of those.
Recording live.
And-
It's an oxymoron.
Free gift.
Yes, free gift. Hit it, Gretchen.
Make us laugh, Gretchen. We're putting you on the spot.
You're making me very nervous.
Just say it.
Okay. Is everybody ready? I have to prepare. I have to get in my happy place.
Got to get into
Just
character.
gotta get into a happy place.
Oh no, you didn't.
I just imagine somebody with like 10-inch long curled fingernails saying that. Oh no, you do.
And a muffin top.
And a muffin top.
The other thing that my sister does, which is I've always found to be just hilarious, she's the only person I know
Oh no.
who can.
No, here it comes. I know what you're going to say.
She's the only person I know
No.
who can accurately imitate a cat with a hairball.
Is that good enough? Oh no, you didn't. You couldn't see my arm and my hand doing the motion, and I kind of wagged my neck, but I lacked that extra vertebrae, so I didn't really. It's stiff. And
Yeah, well, you know what usually follows? Oh no, you didn't. Is because I'm gonna shake my head and wiggle my finger.
With my 10-inch long fingernail.
Yeah, in Dayglow colors.
Is that a slur?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
So, all right. Well, Gretchen, thank you very much for being our first guest on the phone for our first show.
I'm honored.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for taking a few moments, wasting a little bit of your day
A little of your life.
to become.
We feel it's our duty as people who consider themselves proficient in the English language
That's
and who
right.
actually have a high regard for the English language. We feel that it's our responsibility to share our awareness with you, the people.
So, thank you again for watching Wait a Minute. And the next time somebody says something or does something, and you think to yourself, wait a minute.
We implore you to say it out loud and not just think it to yourself.
Say it loud. Say it
loud.
proud.
Be bold, be strong.
That's right.
That's right.
Wait a minute.
And on that note,
Thank you, everybody.
thank you very much.
Good night.
I'm Paul. This is Charlie. Until next time.